sir. Just give us a second, Coach. We're just waiting.
Okay. It's cold in here.
Now with West Virginia, you guys were leading in that fourth quarter, and then, not the outcome you guys wanted. What makes it different this time around against the Mountaineers?
Well, I think we're playing better. I think that we've got some more consistency in some areas, playing a little tougher. But we will have to play some of our toughest basketball against West Virginia. I mean, that's what they're known for. They're very physical, very athletic. So we're going to have to work really, really hard to get in our offenses and to help each other score and make sure that we don't turn the basketball over. But, I think that our kids have got to come out of the locker room from the tip and be ready for a 40-minute battle.
And last time around, it was a battle of the boards. You guys out-rebounded, 41-40 last time. So, is it going to be another battle of the boards tonight for you guys?
Yeah, it'll have to be. That's got to be one of our keys is to dominate in the paint and to make sure that they don't get second chance opportunities. They've had some kids injured, much like we have, and so they're playing with some different lineups. So they seem to be really pounding the boards a lot lately to try to help them score offensively. So it's going to be even more important that we put a body on somebody and not let them have second chance opportunities.
And then this Saturday, the third quarter, you guys, a little out of rhythm. Mm-hmm. Did you guys practice anything this week in order to have a better third quarter going against the Mountaineers?
I think we just really talked about our effort and our mindset coming out of the locker room at halftime, and particularly with the lead. I think that our kids are really regretful of how that went, and obviously wish they could have it back. But I think that they will learn from it and come out and be ready to go from the get-go and try to, when the ball's not going in the basket for them, trying to find a different way to get points, whether it's get to the free throw line or make an extra pass, set a better screen, whatever it might be, to just really focus in on trying to get our offensive rhythm back.
Coach, y'all played good defense the last time y'all played West Virginia. Just what are some of the things that y'all will need to do better this time around to come out with the win?
Well, they're pushing the ball in transition a lot more now, and I think it is because of some of the injuries they've had, and so they would like to try to push in transition and score quickly instead of pounding it inside as much. And so our transition defense is going to have to be key. It will really have to be on point. It'll have to be tough. We'll have to get the ball slowed down immediately off of a rebound. But I think it's going to fall back on our shot selection and taking care of the basketball. If we have live turnovers, there's a good chance that they're going to get points for that. And we've got to make sure that doesn't happen. But I think that our defense was tough. It's going to have to be even tougher this time around, particularly in the full court.
And Vivian's really been on a hot streak scoring the ball. You mentioned after the game Saturday that, you might have a lot of mileage on her legs right now. Have y'all changed anything in between games to sort of get her some extra rest or just anything like that?
I think that, as we get deeper into the conference, we're towards the end of it now. We've been limiting reps, limiting our practice time, limiting contact in practice just to try to recover a little bit quicker. And then our training staff and strength and conditioning staff is sensational. And they've been working overtime on, ice baths and massages and getting their legs back under them as best they can. So I think it's one of those things where, we'll continue to try to, get their legs as fresh as possible, but yet still preparing and to go into battle.
Coach, could you talk about Shantae a little bit? It seems like her game is really coming to her, especially over the last few games.
Yeah, I think Shantae, since Christmas, really, I think she's had a different mindset. I think you get that freshman first part of the season under your belt, and you kind of understand the rigorous grind that Big 12 basketball is. But I think Shantae is understanding her role and where she can help us. You know, she's a big mismatch when she plays the guard position for us. She can stretch out and shoot the three when she's the post for us. She can rebound the basketball, and she can really defend anybody we ask her to defend, whether it's on the perimeter and in the paint. So I think her mindset's been fantastic, and I think that she's been really mature beyond her years over the past few games, and we're going to really lean on her to get some more minutes and to continue to be really productive in her position.
Who would you like to see be more productive against West Virginia?
You know, I think our guards have to continue to produce. I think that that's where we've seen a significant increase in our games whenever we, in our offensive flow. Especially when we've been successful, is when our guards produce a little bit more offensively. So we've got to shoot the three ball a little bit more. We're shooting it well, knock on wood. So we want to continue to do that. But I think if we can draw some double teams and kick it out and maybe get some paint touches and inside outs for those guards, I think that will help. I mean, and that's all of them. That's Bren, that's Lexi, that's Riley. All three of those kids can really knock down the three, and if they can do that more consistently, and I think that we'll be able to loosen it up some for Viv and Taylor and Ella inside.
Coach, with the regular season, you know, dwindling down now, you know, couple home games left, couple road games left. Based on all the adversity you guys have faced this season, who on the team would be your unsung hero?
You know, I think there's so many of them, to be quite honest. I think the fact that they have all persevered through all the adversity this year and they've hung tight. You know, I think that our seniors have been really good lately, particularly, you know, in the OU game, of just coming in focused and ready to play and trying to play with some urgency. And I think that says a lot about their character because they, you know, this is their last game, their last season, and they know that. And they've been really good at trying to hold our team together through all this adversity and doing whatever we ask them to do, whether it's playing a different position, guarding a different player, playing more minutes, whatever it might be. They're doing those things for us. But I seriously think all of them have really stepped up and just held together, and they continue to persevere. And that's what I love about them. And hopefully all of that will pay off as we go through these last few games here in the conference season and then into Big 12 play.
And then coming into last game, Bryn had 110 assists going into the game, which is ranked 4th in the Big 12. With that stat right there, what does that mean about her game, like, to you?
Yeah, I think it just speaks to her knowledge, really, of who needs the basketball and where she can get it to them in scoring positions. You know, I think that she's one of our most unselfish players and that she just wants to help us win. So she's the first one to make the extra pass if she needs to, but she'll also pull the trigger when needed as well. But I think that moving forward, we're going to continue to have people help others score. And I think that she's one of the best on our team that does that right now.
Coach, earlier you mentioned you want to see more production out of your guards. Lexi Hightower has been back for the last few games, and she's played really well in the last couple. She missed a few games early in the season. Just talk about what she brings. We know what she brings offensively, but what else does she bring when she's out there on the floor? Yeah,
well, I think if you watch the OU game, you would see that she was much more in her 100% healthy state, and so was really quick on the ball. She slowed it down in the full court. She really played with an energy that we haven't had because of her injury. She hasn't been able to play quite at the full strength, and I think just the last couple of games we've seen that more. She has such a quick first step on her jumper whenever she lifts people up and gets around them, that also adds pressure on the defense. And she's a key. I mean, she's a key factor in what we're doing. And we've got to get her some shots and let her get us going. But yet she also leads us. She starts our defense for us as well.
And earlier you mentioned some of the freshmen on the team stepping up big. As the season kind of winds down to the last final stretch here, do you have a final grade you would give the young players on this team?
Well, I think our kids our young kids especially have really had to step up. I mean, they're they're a half of our roster. They make up half of our roster right now. So we've had to rely on them in some really critical situations. I think Riley McKinney has come out and done some really big things for us, hit some big shots. Against KU, she came in and hit a couple of big ones for us. And I think that, that Shantae continues to produce. I think Saga and Lana have been really resilient in their roles and them being really productive in practice and ready for their opportunity when that may come in a game. So, I think our kids have done a good job, and I don't know about a grade. I think that, all of them are doing the best they can and trying to help us in any way possible.
Coach, y'all had 4 double-digit scores against Kansas, and I know you had talked about, wanting to have 3 a game for y'all to be successful. Just how nice was that to see, the spreading of the offense?
Yeah, I think that's going to continue to be a key for us, that if we can have more people sharing the basketball and being a threat, that's going to take some pressure off Vivian. We know Vivian can score in high numbers, and I think she'll continue to, but I think she'll only continue to do that if others start knocking down shots, because otherwise she's going to draw a lot of attention, and it's going to be really difficult for her to put up the numbers that she's been putting up lately against double teams. And I would have to think that opponents are going to start really drawing 2, maybe 3 defenders to her, and she does such a good job of finding the open player when that happens that we've got to continue to have people knock down shots when they're open.
Anything else for Coach?
All right. Thank you, guys.